So what do you think happened when Joe Biden walked into the Oval Office? We've got this myriad of problems that we're talking about, Dr. Carson, from the border to worries over a loss of trust to worries over potential criminality in the Biden family. How would you assess where we are today, 282 days before the presidential election?
Well, I would assess that we're in trouble. You know, when Joe Biden walked into the Oval Office on day one, he started doing things that were very destructive, just because they were things that were put in place by President Trump. I mean, when you look at the border situation, that was largely under control. And he came in very much like a child and said, I don't like this because he did this, therefore we're going to stop. I mean, what about the American people? What about what's good for us? And look at what's happened. We've opened that border. We've got all kinds of people coming through here. We're going to pay the price for that. I guarantee you we're going to pay a big price for letting all these terrorists in here. And he'll probably find a way to blame it on somebody else.
Dr. Carson, I know that this is also one of the reasons President Trump is doing so well in the polls. Has President Trump contacted you to be his VP?
I don't want to talk about what we've talked about, but we've talked about what can we do to save this country, and that we will work together to make sure that America remains America. There's so many things that are going on right now. You know, compromising the DOJ, using it to injure your opponents politically. These are things that occur in China and Russia and Cuba. Those are not things that are supposed to occur in this country. And we should be alarmed, and I think the American people are alarmed.
Do you see more support from the black community for President Trump?
Absolutely. I used to go to places and be the only black face. Not anymore, not by a long shot. And I think people are starting to recognize that the Trump administration was on the side of black America. The things that they enacted were extremely positive. The opportunity zones, HBCU support, all of these things were fantastic. And I think he's going to have a lot of black support this time. Well, interestingly enough, in our society today, people like to couch all kinds of motives with beautiful words. So when you say diversity, equity, inclusion, it sounds beautiful. But when in fact you end up using it as a bureaucratic method of control and censorship and division, that is not a good thing. And so we want to make sure that people understand what is really going on here. We're not against, diversity and inclusion. We're against manipulating people and causing division in our society and throwing out the very things that made us into a great nation. You know, it was our entrepreneurship, our innovation that caused America to be the greatest source of life-changing inventions in the world. And it's not checking little boxes about differences. It's about the things that made us into a great nation.